Hey guys, welcome back. So that fight, I had just realized that I had my mic on the entire time. The entire time. So there's gonna be a lot of feedback in that. So, anyway, I went ahead and cleared this out. We got Twilight Town back. I'm not gonna go there yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do Agrabah. Then we're going to do Pride Lands. And then we'll do Twilight Town. And then we'll be the second? I believe. I fight here because it's just more convenient to get XP instead of death abusing. There's some, like now when I do like my level 1 play, everywhere that there's a death abuse, I take it. Because level 1 there's no point in fighting. Unless it's like mandatory. There we go. They just kind of like keep coming non-stop. I think we're at level 28 now. I mean 29. Huh, still level 28. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, we got new bangles and shit. Probably should buy 2 of those, really. I'm gonna buy a couple of tents. They're like, Demon, you said a couple. And 20's a couple. Yeah, I only get like 3 XP for that. So, I didn't even notice that I had better. So, Donald, Mr. Weakness over here, gets this. Yeah, Goofy kind of used like every single thing I gave him during the fight. That was crazy. You will get once more, you bastard. And second chance. You're a bastard, Goofy. You're a straight bastard. What'd I get? Magnet? Finally! I can get rid of fucking Thunder. You know what sucks is I have different presets. I have a different preset for my account, my actual account that I play on. Well, that I finished. So I hope having a different set won't throw me off with how my magnet's placed. You might be saying, but Demon, what if it's, you know, I mean, if it's a whole new, you know, another account playthrough, you know, a different file, why would you get confused? Well, that, my friends, is simple as shit. My fingers were trained one way. Okay, so when I played on my account that you know, the level 99 account y'all see, or save file. I don't know why I call it an account. But my level 99 file, my first critical mode go through. Yeah, I beat critical mode. When this came out on PS4, I played only crit. Everything that's on the PS4, like every file, is a crit file. I don't play on beginner, standard, or proud. I only play on crit. I used to only play on, what's it called? Proud. That, for the longest time, I was primarily a proud player. And the reason is because Proud was the highest difficulty I could complete back when this came out on the PS3. And it was the, well, let me rephrase that. When this was out on the PS2, when it first came out, since Proud Mode was the highest difficulty you could play at the time, that's my extensual knowledge of Kingdom Hearts, of how difficult the game was Proud Mode. So I got very used to playing it on Proud, with that being the highest difficulty at the time. And so when I played on PS3, I only played on Proud Mode. Now, I had my fair share of problems with everything on Proud Mode. I mean, I cleared the Caverns of Remembrance, I beat Sephiroth, I beat most of the Data Org fights. All of 3. Yeah, that sounds kind of shameful, but I only completed 3 Data Orbs. The fact is that that's what I called a lot back then when it first came out, because I didn't know, you know, what the Data Org fights really were, and it was just kind of, oh, okay, let's try these out. So 3 at the time was a pretty substantial number to me, because I had, you know, it was my first time, you know, playing the final mix of Kingdom Hearts 2, and so relearning every, you know, like new mechanics that final mix incorporated, you know, where all the new, you know, like this new synthesis items, the caverns itself, let's see what else. Another thing was the longer cutscenes. Some, you know, newer cutscenes, some were extended a bit, you know, like adding stuff which wasn't the new cutscenes to it. Let's see what else. You know, like, but yeah, the biggest thing was, like, you know, just the tiny minute differences that were added from the original to Final Mix. You know, just tiny minute details that just took me by complete surprise. And so I was, you know, happy with everything that I had accomplished in that game. Going some of the right ways. But, I mean, it's just all the different things that I had accomplished and all of that, and it just, you know, kind of was like, okay, so, I mean, that's a good number, you know what I mean? And then when I came to realize that Critical Mode was a whole nother monster in this game, after seeing the speedruns for it for the very first time, so, like, Critical Mode was just a whole new beast altogether when I first tried it. The farthest I ever got on the PS3 version of Critical Mode, ugh, that didn't taste good. I'm gonna shamefully say that it was the Roxas section. I didn't finish it. I did not finish the Roxas section at all. That was the farthest I ever got, because I could not, for the life of me, get past well, it was after the Roxas section. Actually, I think the furthest I would actually, now that I think about it, I would have to go back and look. Damn, now that I think about it, how far did I really get with critical mode on the PS3?
Yeah. Take this.
For me, it's not a big deal. I can just, you know, grab my Kingdom Hearts 2 copy for the PS3, go into the living room, you know, put it in the 3 and just, you know, look. So I'm gonna hold back on telling y'all that, because now I don't even remember how far I actually got. So we'll wait on that. So, but the full matter of things is that I didn't know what critical mode was. I just saw the speedrunners doing it, because it just turned out it, you know, was just a faster, you know, one of the fast ways to play. And I just kind of happened to, you know, when I played it, when I first played critical mode, I was like, wow, this is a whole new monster. I can't, you know, do things I would do in proud mode, because it doesn't work like that. This game is not, you know, this mode doesn't work like proud mode. It's a totally different beast. I mean, at first, the damage got me. Not what the enemies did, but what I did. I didn't know until after fully paying attention and watching the speed runs that, you know, like Bloody Biscuits, Biscuit, and some of the others, you know, after watching the SGDQ and AGDQ, things like that, of the speed run, was that, well then, it completely turns out that if you're on crit, yeah, they do more damage, but you do twice as much too. Like, it's, and I didn't know that in beginner mode you did more damage. I just thought, you know, enemies were just, you know, that's all I ever thought beginner mode was just weak enemies. And, you know, it just made you seem really strong. But it's actually the opposite, where beginner mode, you're more powerful than the enemies. Not just in defense, but in strength. Oh. You're a whore. You're a slut. Nope. I didn't know if there. I didn't even know they had a reaction command. Stop moving! Anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by reaction commands. That I didn't know that in just beginner in general that you're pretty much a tank of a Sora. And that's what I had ever first played Kingdom Hearts on, was beginner. And it's just, it blew my mind when, okay, now as you can tell that talking about this game is easier, talking about things that I didn't know about this game is easier for me than to try to explain what's going on, because it's kind of simple. That's what's going on is really simple. So when I finally found out all that information, and then I, you know, after beating And then after beating Proud Mode so many times, with difficulty, I will say this, because I didn't know all the the little tricks and everything that Kingdom Hearts did. I used to always be, Keyblade, 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 hit everything with the Keyblade, Drive Forms. What's this anti-form stuff? I never knew any of that until I, started playing around with the game. And I was like, wow, this game is a little different than what I had originally thought. So, excuse me. As you can tell, we're like really close to maxing out AP already. And we'll have all the abilities before then, with just AP boosts, and I'll buy more AP boosts. And then I'll even synthesize AP boosts into like strength and magic AP. It'll be magic stuff. Anyway, so when I first tackled critical mode on the 3, at first it blew my mind. Next one. So it just kind of like blew my mind on how much different critical mode was from Proud Mode. And then when I tackled critical mode on the 4 when it came out, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm playing on critical mode only. I'm gonna beat critical mode for the first time. I'm gonna give this my all. I'm giving this game my full, undivided attention. And it amazed me at how much when I, started watching the people who speedrun, and that if I just, start using, these magic abilities, Kingdom Hearts 2 isn't all that bad. Like, it's not much, it's not that bad on critical mode. I mean, it's still a hell of a challenge to do. I mean, don't assume, or, don't think I'm just, yanking the chain on some of that stuff. It's still complicated as hell. I mean, it's still a whole monster on its own, because you gotta watch what you do and how many hits you can take. And it starts to grow of what you need to do at what points. So it just, started, boggling my mind. And when I mean, the game's never, critical mode's never going to be like a full easy mode challenge for me. But since I know how to, I pretty much know how to play the game now, to an extent, I don't have as much trouble with it like I used to. And when you start to play around a lot with the game, and figure out the mechanics and different things, I mean, it starts opening up to, well, this isn't as bad, or goddamn sword jump.
Give me strength.
That's fine. I can just I'll do things
Yeah.
to fix it later.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm fighting in Valor form.
This is it.
I don't really need all this like tiny XP. So when I started oh crap, I forgot what I was saying. Damn it, you motherfucking heartless. When I started learning, like I said, when I started learning the different mechanics, it wasn't that it was a super hard beast of a game anymore. It was the fact that, I'll be honest with you, I just lost my complete train of thought. I've already went over that. I've already said all that. I'm embarrassed now because I honestly can't remember my own train of thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm upset with myself. Guard.
This is it.
Thanks, Goofy, for, you know, screwing that guy up.
Take this. Yeah.
And thanks for Reflect.
Yeah.
Ugh. Now I can't remember anything I was talking about. In a full short of everything is that critical mode is only as hard as you make it to be for yourself.
Yeah.
Critical mode is only as hard as you make it. That's the only way I can say it. Critical mode is as hard as you make it. And if you know, kind of fight yourself to not learn all the different mechanics and how the mechanics work of the game, it makes... Okay, so the mechanics of this game can make or break how critical mode plays for you. And I would rather critical mode play... I'd rather have a harder time at the game than just have, like, you know, constant easy mode activated. Constant easy mode sucks.
It's over. It's over.
And when you start to play more
It's over.
and focus on the different things, like each character, you know, like what each move does. Like I'll say this, I haven't fully understood or even learned what most of the abilities do. Like I have a generalization of what they do. Come on, get in I have a generalization of what they can do, but do I know how to like fully utilize those abilities, you know, to what they can and are supposed to do? Of course not.